welcome back to All Things Anime X.
Hey video, we got too much to talk about, man. As promised in my last video, I finally got the chance to watch Vinland Saga, and boy, when I tell you, it got a strong possibility and potential to enter the room as one of the GOAT animes. I'm not underestimating this anime, I promise. I won't go as far as saying big three, maybe like new big three, because I would consider My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan part of the new big three, and the third spot is kind of free to be open, and I think this anime has the right material to, take it. So Vinland Saga, man, can I just briefly touch about why I like this show? Man, we're talking about Vikings, bro. We have never gotten any anime or generally any type of show that has Vikings in it. So that already adds a great aspect to the show and what to look forward to every episode. We'll also like to throw in that they keep it as authentic as possible, using real lands, using real countries. So I kind of feel like I was back in year 1000, So almost immediately, I was able to tell that this anime is way different from any kind of shonen, just by the way that it's fundamentally built. And when I say this, I mean as far as reference point of what's going to happen, like how the story is going to develop. The way the story is developing is nothing short of divine. The show starts focusing on the father, Thor's first, which is already a different aspect because we're used to following and talking around the main protagonist right off the jump. And they're, pretty much a pathetic loser and, really can't really help to do anything but be a sorrow simp. We talk about powerful people. Out of the jump, we was able to find out power scaling and, kind of the mindset of a Viking through Thor's. What it means to be a true warrior. I feel like hands down, he's a textbook definition. My man, he was so brave. He took on 30 guys with just his hand. He didn't even bestow a sword. Like, bro, what in the Batman is this? But it was cool to see. And with adding exaggeration, they definitely made everyone, as real as possible. Even though Thor's ran through 30 people, he still ended up dying in the end due to arrows. Like, that made complete sense to me because, in different shows or different animes, the most powerful person will be able to dodge it or break all the damn arrows and, jump across the universe and slash through the rest of the enemies. But in this case, it was real. Like, the effects was real. We felt the real effects. And he left behind his little boy, Thorfinn. And we able to see that Thorfinn grows up pretty rough because of his vengeance for his father. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I felt his need for revenge. I felt his need for, pursuing this almost impossible goal as we're going to see later throughout the entire season. So this little boy, Thorfinn, his father dies around when he's about 6 years old. And up until the end of the show, or the first season, 11 years has passed. He spent 11 years dedicating himself to kill the man and kill the people that unfairly had took his father's life. With them people had been Askeladd and his crew. Askeladd, he's one of a kind. He's very sly, manipulative, cunning, just very, like in an art of war, you always appreciate someone like him because you don't really see, the gory details that Vinland Saga provides. Askeladd, he's very battle driven. He's very battle clever. He knows every situation. He knows the right outcome. And towards his comrades, they say that he's lucky. And he self-proclaims luckiness as well. But what I like about Vinland Saga is, unlike most other shows, it doesn't really focus mainly on Thorfinn. Well, it's about Thorfinn, but, surrounded by Askeladd. Askeladd is Thorfinn's main drive. His drive to kill Askeladd. So we have to see the backstory of Askeladd in order to appreciate, Thorfinn. It's like the more that we got to understand Askeladd as a person, as a character, as a leader, we was able to appreciate what Thorfinn was doing as well, because Thorfinn is pretty badass. Like, who doesn't like a dude with two daggers? Like, that's, I love how he throws things and how fast he moves and how, just, we love Thorfinn. But we wouldn't love Thorfinn if it wasn't for Askeladd. And Askeladd manipulating Thorfinn the entire time for over the 11 years. Now, what people don't really think about when thinking about Thorfinn is, it's pretty easy to manipulate a child. He was 6 years old, and if we're calculating 11 years up at the present day, Thorfinn is around 17. Now, through adolescence and early childhood phases, it's very easy to manipulate someone, especially, he's kind of like a stray dog. Like, if you dangling meat in front of a stray dog, they have no choice but to, try to, do whatever they can to survive. And that's precisely what Thorfinn was doing. He tagged along and was surviving. But as a true warrior of Thorfinn, he survived on his own. The only thing that he needed was just, a drive to keep him going. With that drive being Askeladd himself. And Askeladd knew this the entire time. He bred this man to become a killing machine. Being the scout of the organization that he was a part of, Thorfinn was doing a lot of, dirty work himself, doing a lot of scouting, doing a lot of killing kings, killing leaders in order to satisfy Askeladd duels that he would like to have to try to take his life. And in each battle, Askeladd pretty much ass handles this guy. Not because Thorfinn is weak, but as we're able to see throughout the entirety of the show, he somewhat raises him. So when you raise someone and when you know all of their ways, all of their tendencies, all their hate, their fuel, their motive, it's pretty easy to, outwit them. And that's precisely what was going on in the first season. Another thing that I appreciated was the royal blood and, the royal family and, the hierarchy of kings and princes, because family feuds does, create a lot of drama. It create a lot of imbalance. It create a lot of confusion amongst, power going forward, especially with heirs being, to the throne and all of that. Also, we get to see the growth of the prince, Canute. In the beginning, when we first see Canute is pretty much, quiet, pretty much a pristine prince, what we would normally imagine, a typical prince to be like. But we're able to see him become, grow through, pain, suffering, and, his own understanding what the world is once pretty much his, I would say more of his father figure, his mentor, Ragnarok, he had passed away, and he was able to grow from this. And we love to see character development, especially when someone is pretty pathetic in the beginning. Canute, he wasn't able to think for himself, so the death of Ragnarok was very needed for him to, gain profound dominance within his ranks, instead of looking like, just a regular figurehead. But overall, this show is pretty touching because of, you get the very understanding that it's only one life that you live. And, it's a lot of afterlife in different religions, different cultural backgrounds, all clashing together, mixed with, these different armies. Some people like the Vikings, they believe in going to Valhalla, a place where warriors go to heaven. And then you have Christians, you have people that believe in Christ, and, following, the teaching of Jesus Christ. And, just the cultural splits and the, the religion dynamics that, all of these different places have. And, a lot of common ground for these people are finding somewhere very far, far away from all of the hurt, all of the pain, all of the war. Everyone just wants to find that one place. And I find that very touching, because deep down at the core, most people don't really want to fight. Most people would rather just, live a normal life. And that brings this, a very life feeling, type of anime. Be able to have a deep dive into who these people are, like why. But I'm now figuring out that season 2 already dropped. So I will be covering season 2 pretty soon. But, ooh, season 1 was just godsend. It was so great. Like, 5 out of 5 on my star rating. I have a star rating for my animes that I watch. Oh, the show was just so great. It was so fulfilling. I can't wait to watch season 2. And thank you guys. Thank you all for watching. This is fun. I'm loving watching this show. I'm gonna recommend this to whoever I can. Like, if you want to get into anime, I know I had a top 5, but maybe we'll come back and make a top 6 or 7. And Vinland Saga would definitely be in, because it's so easy to understand. It's so real. But until next time, thank you. Like and subscribe. All of that. Share. And y'all be safe, man. Skull.